Well, shit. My appeal has been completely rejected at both stages. Scottish appeal courts usually work on a sift process where you get two chances to submit your appeal, and it can be rejected at that stage on the grounds that there's absolutely no hope in hell of your appeal being successful. It was to stop, people that had no chance in hell from wasting the time of appeal courts. And mine was actually rejected on both stages, and I do actually have the document for the first rejection, and I'll be getting the document for the second rejection, and I'm going to make those public, obviously with names redacted, because after the unpleasant business that happened last time with O'Carroll getting death threats, I'd rather that didn't repeat itself. So the documents will be made public, and I'm going to redact names, but from the first one, I just want everybody to see this final paragraph for the first rejection. Likewise, the appeal against sentence is not arguable. This was a deeply unpleasant offence in which disgraceful and utterly offensive material was very widely distributed by the appellant. This was to the considerable distress of the community in question, and, just as disturbingly, to the apparent approval of a large number of persons who appear to share the appellant's racist views. Indeed, it must be observed that in the circumstances the appellant was fortunate that the learned sheriff was not considering custody as an option. I also refer to the sheriff's report at paragraph 83, where he deals with the plea in mitigation. He charitably describes this as unusual. On my reading, it appears to be wholly improper. It involved an attack upon the bona fides of the police and prosecution, an apparent refusal by an officer of the court to accept the verdict of that court, an apparent attempt to intimidate the court in the sentencing processes by reference to a publicly funded appeal, expressions of personal views on the outcome by the solicitor, whose professional duty was clearly confined to submissions in fact and law, and an apparently enthusiastic endorsement of the appellant's defiance. For an officer of the court to engage in such behaviour is at best unprofessional and improper, and would clearly merit a professional complaint. Indeed, for my part, I consider the solicitor was fortunate not to himself require representation on the matter of contempt. I find that extremely interesting because despite all of the things in regards to my case that obviously raised everyone's eyebrows, apparently what happened to me is completely inarguable. And the thing that I found absolutely brilliant was the fact that he said that my lawyer should be charged with contempt for doing his job in trying to defend me. What does that last paragraph look like to you? It looked like a little bit of a message to my lawyer there, didn't it? Back off. So what's next? Well, there are other avenues that my lawyers are going to go down. They are quite technical, but I can't discuss them too publicly at the moment. Another thing that they're going to do as well is, as they've advised me, I've suffered a miscarriage of justice, which I believe I have, and they are going to submit that to the Scottish Criminal Case Review Commission and basically advise them, this is a miscarriage of justice, he's been denied his right to an appeal, and hopefully the Commission Board will agree and basically ask the appeal court to accept my appeal case. Because my appeal was rejected. I never even got a hearing. Never even got so much as a hearing for them to actually hear my appeal. I just got 2 rejection letters. That's all I got. Didn't even get a chance to actually get a proper hearing. But what that means is that the £800 fine that I've been given, that's still active. And I was given 6 months to pay it, which means I have until October the 26th to pay that £800. And £800 that I'm still not paying. So what will happen is I've got until the 26th of October to pay this fine. I'm not going to pay the fine, so I'm going to get a letter from the court round about that time asking me to appear in court again so that they can ask me why I haven't paid the fine. At which point I'm going to tell them that I am not paying the fine because I am not a criminal, I have done nothing wrong, the intent and context of what I did was completely ignored, and what was substituted was this completely farcical, apparent, secret racist Nazi ideology, absolute pile of bullshit that the prosecutor used to substitute actual reality is what was accepted. It should not be a criminal offence to hurt people's feelings. At which point the judge is either going to increase the fine or give me community service or something along those lines. At which point I am going to reject it and say I'm not going to do those either. Which means that one of two things are going to happen. Either he is going to give me that punishment anyway, and I'm still not going to do it, which means once the time threshold for that finishes, I'll get another letter from the court asking me to reappear back, or he is just going to jail me there and then, right away. So, whether we like it or not, boys, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. Unless, of course, the other avenues that my lawyers are exploring and the commission itself, if any of those are successful and I actually do get at least a hearing for my appeal, then it means that the appeals process just starts back up again, and any fine or any punishment I would have to do, that gets delayed while the appeals process is going on. One thing that I would really advise everybody not to do is please do not send offensive, abusive or threatening messages to the appeals court or just anyone connected to the case. Don't do that fucking shit again. Just don't start sending out threatening messages. I know that this is going to make people very angry, right? But just don't take it out on anyone in a way where it's going to affect any appeal that I might get. The only thing we can do in the meantime is wait. Even while I am in prison, my lawyers are still going to be exploring these other avenues and also appealing to the commission itself. So they're still going to be working to get me out of prison, get my conviction overturned and all these other things. So they know what to do, and I trust their judgment completely. In the meantime, all we can do is just enjoy the little bit of time that we have left together, because Daddy might be going away for a while. I'm obviously not happy about the fact that I'm going to have to go to jail, but I am more than prepared to do it for what I believe in. I absolutely refuse to sacrifice my principles just so I can get an easy time under a law I shouldn't even be getting charged under in the first place. A law that I feel shouldn't even exist in the first place. I will not bend the fucking knee. I am not fucking backing down. I am not backing down from this, so fucking come at me, bro. Let's just hope I get released before my wedding. Let's fucking do this.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.